Hi, welcome to Virtual CB1A. This is Miss Rena, and for today's video discussion, start na tayo with reasoning and proof. So for this part, dapat natatandaan nyo yung mga diniscuss natin before sa subject natin na logic and propositions. And also, you have to take note of the theorems and definitions that we discussed in the preliminary chapters. So, ayan. So, if you are going to take notice dun sa review natin, nandyan yung definition ng conjecture, inductive reasoning. So, ito yung mga prerequisites for chapter 2, reasoning and proof. Ayan. So, citing counterexample, definition, postulates, and then we are going to make use of the idea of angle pairs. And then dito, although familiar na kayo with the if-then form, converse, inverse, contrapositive by conditional statements, didiscuss pa rin natin siya. So, parang review na rin to ng course natin na logic and proposition. So, are you ready for the chapter? Of course. So, move tayo with conditional statements. So, in this lesson, you will study a type of logical statements called the conditional statements. Ano ang conditional statement? So, ito yung mga statements in the if-then form. So, a conditional statement has two parts. We have the hypothesis and the conclusion. When the statement is written in the if-then form, the if part contains the hypothesis and the then part contains the conclusion. So, ito yun. For example, if it is noon in Georgia, then it is 9 a.m. in California. So, the if part is the hypothesis and the then part is the conclusion. Now, let's cite some examples. Rewrite the conditional statements in if-then form. So, 2 points are collinear if they lie on the same line. So, dapat dito yung if ay nasa unahan, then conclusion. So, for our solution, if 2 points lie on the same line, then they are collinear. Next, all sharks have a boneless skeleton. So B, if a fish is a shark, then it has a boneless skeleton. And then finally, a number is divisible by 9 is also divisible by 3. So if a number is divisible by 9, then it is divisible by 3. So that is how you rewrite statements into if-then form. Okay, counterexample tayo. So anong ibig sabihin natin ng counterexample? So this is an example that will contradict our statement. So conditional statements can be either true or false. To show that a conditional statement is true, you must present an argument that the conclusion follows for all cases that fulfill the hypothesis. So kung totoo siya sa lahat ng cases, then true siya. Paano naman natin siya madi-disprove? Paano natin masasabi na false siya? So, we need to show a counterexample. So, we have to find a statement that will make, we have to find an example that will make the conditional statement false. So, dito tayo. Write a counterexample to show that the following conditional statements is true. If x squared is equal to 16, then x is equal to 4. We know that 4 squared is equal to 16. But, if you will present the other integer that will be equal to 16, meron tayong negative 4. So, square root of 16 is positive 4 and negative 4. So, if you square negative 4, you will end up with 16. So, as a counterexample, let x be equal to negative 4. The hypothesis is true because negative 4 squared is equal to 16. However, yung conclusion mo is false. Kasi, ang nakalagay sa kanya, positive 4 lang. Pwede rin si negative 4. So, this implies that the given conditional statement is false. Now, let's talk about the converse. So, the converse of a conditional statement is formed by switching the hypothesis and conclusion. So, if you see lightning, then you hear thunder. Baliktarin natin siya. If you hear thunder, then you see lightning. So, I hope it is clear. Again, nagre-review lang naman tayo. So, yung mga example dito, if two segments are congruent, then they have the same length. So, I assume na May intindihan nyo na siya? Agad-agad? Since ito rin yung mga ginamit yata natin before eh. So, if two segments have the same length, then they are congruent. So, converse, baligtarin si if and then. So, a statement can be altered by negation. So, tandaan nyo pa yung symbol, yung parang symbol ng similar, yung ganito. Sana sumulat siya. Ay, hindi siya sumulat ng maayos. So, yung ganitong symbol, yan. O kaya, yung ganitong symbol. Yan yung mga ginagamit natin for negation noon eh. Ayan. So, if P is the proposition, then negation of P ay pwedeng ganito yung symbol. Pwedeng ganito, parang yung similar, pwede rin naman na ganito. Mukha siyang nakarotate na L. So, sana tandaan niyo pa siya. So, a statement can be altered by negation. That is, by writing the negative of the statement. So, ang statement natin ay measurement of angle A is equal to 30 degrees. Anong kaibahan ngayon na nagjo-geometry na tayo? Pag magne-negate tayo, ang gagamitin na natin, yung mga symbol na counterpart nung mga symbols na ginagamit natin sa math. So, for example, equal. We have not equal. So, kung ito ay nakasulat in words, so measurement of angle A is 30 degrees. Lagay tayo ng isang page. Now that we are in other branches of math, i-explore na rin natin yung iba pang mga symbols na ginagamit. So, measurement of angle A is equal to 30. So, kung ilalagay natin siya sa words, the measurement of angle A is 30 degrees, right? So, this satisfies the properties of a proposition. So, declarative statement siya, and then you can determine its truth value. Pwede mong malaman kung true siya or false. Now, if we are going to get the negation of this proposition, halimbawa ito yung P, ang negation niya is the measurement of angle A is not 30 degrees. So, instead of using this statement in the form of an English sentence, pwede mo siyang i-transform into a mathematical statement. So, the measurement of angle A, equal nung una, di ba? So, anong kabaligtaran ng equal? Not equal. It's not equal to 30. So, I hope that was clear. So, dito, angle A is acute. Wala naman tayong ibang symbol dito. Angle A is not acute. Hindi siya pwedeng ilagay in symbols. Kasi wala tayong specific na symbol for angle kinds or kinds of angle, types of angles. So, when you negate the hypothesis and conclusion of a conditional statement, you form the inverse. When you negate the hypothesis and conclusion of the converse of the statement, you form the contrapositive. Okay? So, the original statement is, the measurement of if the measurement of angle A is equal to 30 degrees, then angle A is acute. Now, kunin natin yung inverse niya. Dapat, inenegate natin yung P at saka yung Q. So, ito si P, ito si Q. Yung if form, siya yung P. Yung then form, siya yung Q. So, if P, then Q. Inverse. If not P, then not Q. So, if angle A is not equal to 30 degrees, then angle A is not acute. Now, is this true or false? So, this is false. Why? Kasi you can present a counterexample. Hindi daw siya equal sa 30. Eh, paano kung ang measurement pala niya ay measurement of angle A is equal to 45 degrees? Pwede pa rin siyang maging acute. Right? So, anything that is less than 90 na pwedeng maging measurement ni angle A will serve as a counterexample. Kahit nga measurement of angle A is equal to 1 yan, counterexample pa rin yun. So, this is false. Now, we have the converse. If measurement of A is acute, then measurement of angle A is equal to 30 degrees. So, si angle A daw ay acute. Tapos, ang measurement daw niya ay 30. Is it necessary na measurement niya ay 30? No. Kasi meron pang ibang mga acute na angle na ang measurement ay hindi 30. Same as this inverse, na hindi lahat ng mga angle na hindi 30 ay hindi na acute. Dito naman, hindi lahat ng acute ay equal sa 30. Meron tayong ibang angles na acute which is not equal to 30. So, pwede ka maglagay ng counterexample for inverse and converse. May nag-exist na counterexample, so they are false. Contrapositive. If angle A is not acute, then measurement of angle A is not equal to 30. Yan. Totoo ba to? Yes, this is true. If angle A is not acute, then measurement of angle A is not 30. So, totoo siya. Okay? Meron ka bang mahahanap na hindi acute na ang measurement ay 30? Wala, di ba? Lahat ng 30, acute sila. So, when two statements are both true or both false, they are called equivalent statements. So, si original at si contrapositive ay equivalent. Si inverse at si converse ay equivalent din. So, a conditional statement is equivalent to its contrapositive. Similarly, the inverse and converse of any conditional statement are equivalent. I think pinaquiz ko to before sa logic and proposition nyo. Ayan. Now, we are going to apply what we have learned from reasoning and proof, logic and proposition to point, line, and plane postulates. Ayan. So, ito yung mga postulates na mahalagang aralin sa geometry. So, we have postulate number 5. Through any 2 points, there exists exactly 1 line. I think meron ditong may index dito for the list of all the postulates that is presented in this book. Ayan. Oo, nandito nga yata yun. Ay, mamaya ko na siya titingnan. Mag-discuss na muna tayo. Kung hindi ko pa kayo nabibigyan itong book na to, kasi ang alam ko na i-forward ko na sa inyo. Pero kung hindi ko pa kayo nabibigyan itong book na to, message nyo ako. Kasi gusto ko na sa inyo tong isang buong book. Hindi lang yung mga portions. Kasi kung hindi man natin itong matapos, due to our setup, at least, pwede nyo siyang balik-balikan if you find it necessary. Halimbawa, nasa modern geometry na tayo, tapos meron akong binabanggit na theorem na hindi nyo pala naiintindihan. So, pwede nyo gamitin tong aklat na to ulit. So, message nyo ako ha kapag hindi ko pa pala ito napopost. Kasi baka makalimutan ko siya. Okay, postulate 5. Through any 2 points, there exists exactly 1 line. So, totoo ba yun? So, through any 2 points, there exists exactly 1 line. So, ilan yung pwede mong mabuong line passing through A and B? So, isa lang. Isa lang yung nag-exist na line dyan, passing through A and B. A line contains at least 2 points. Yes, because between any 2 points, there exists an infinite number of points between them. So, napakarami mong points na pwedeng i-plot sa loob ng isang linya. Hindi ko na i-explain isa-isa ha, kasi habang nag-aaral naman tayo ng geometry, mababanggit din natin sila. So, postulate 7, if 2 lines intersect, then the intersection is exactly 1 point. Postulate 8, through any 3 non-collinear points, there exists exactly 1 plane. Postulate 9, a plane contains at least 3 non-collinear points. If 2 points lie in a plane, then the line containing them lies in the plane. And if 2 planes intersect, then the intersection is a line. So, tama. So, identifying postulates. Use the diagram at the right to give examples of postulates 5 through 11. So, postulate 5. Through any 2 points, there exists exactly one line. So there is exactly one line N, ayun, that passes through points A and B. Postulate 6, a line contains at least 2 points. Oh my God, nagbaligtad siya. Yun. So, a line contains at least 2 points. So, line N contains at least 2 points. For instance, line N contains point A and B. And then, if you extend the line indefinitely, meron tayong mga lines outside of AB. Meron tayong mga points outside of AB. May mga points dito, may mga points din dito. So, B, yung ray B, papunta dito sa direction na to. Postulate 7, if two lines intersect, then their intersection is just 1 point. So we have line N and line M. They intersect at 1 point A. Postulate 8, through any three non-collinear points, there exists exactly one plane. So, non-collinear points natin dito, we have C, A, B. So, plane P passes through the non-collinear points A, B, and C. Itong pink na plane. Next. Hi. Po? Yes po. Wait lang ha. Sorry for the interruption. Nasaan na tayo? Postulate 9. Yan, postulate 9. A plane consists at least 3 non-collinear points. So, same pa rin tayo. We have plane P, A, B, and C. Ayan. So, postulate 10. Points A and B lie in plane P. Ay, ano ba to? Postulate 10, if 2 points lie in a plane, then the line containing them lies in the plane. So, tingnan natin to. So, si plane P, it was formed because there exists at least 3 non-collinear points A, B, and C. And the line passing through A and B is also in plane P. If you are going to draw a line passing through C and B, it will also be in plane P. Kung meron kang line passing through AC, nasa plane P pa rin yan. Okay? So, lahat ng lines that you can form from the 3 non-collinear points contained in the plane will also lie in the plane. Okay? Okay. So, let's go to postulate 11. So, if two planes intersect, their intersection is a line. So, nag-intersect si plane P at saka si plane Q. Itong pink at saka itong blue. So, their point of intersection is line M, which passes through A. Okay? Okay. So, another example, rewriting a postulate. Rewrite postulate 5 in the if-then form. Ang sabi sa postulate 5, through any 2 points, there exists exactly one line. So, if 2 points are distinct, so sabi diba through any 2 points. So, if 2 points are distinct, magkaiba sila, then there is exactly one line that passes through them. Now, let's write its inverse. Pag inverse, inanegate natin yung P, inanegate din natin yung Q. So, if 2 points are not distinct, pag sinabi natin not distinct, hindi sila magkaiba. Paliwanagin natin. So, A and B, magkaibang point sila, di ba? What if the given is point A and point A? How many point A do you have? Isa lang, di ba? So, point A and point A are not distinct. Iisa lang sila. Okay? So, kahit papangalanan natin to ng isa pang pangalan ulit, halimbawa, gusto ko tong pangalanan na point P. So, point A and point P, since they represent both point, itong point na to, itong dot na to, hindi sila distinct. Hindi sila magkaiba. Parehas lang sila na element sa isang plane. So, if 2 points are not distinct, hindi sila magkaiba, then it is not true that there is exactly one line that passes through them. So, kung parehas lang yung point mo, wala kang pwedeng ma-form na line kasi tuldok lang yan. Isang location lang yan sa plane. So, walang line na pwedeng mag-exist sa kanila because you are required to use at least 2 points to form one line. Okay? Okay, so, converse. Pagbaligtarin natin si P at saka si Q. It'll be Q, then P. So, if exactly one line passes through 2 points, then the 2 points are distinct. Okay, this is also true. Contrapositive, it is not true that exactly one line passes through 2 points, then the 2 points are not distinct. Ibabaligtarin naman natin yung inverse. Okay? Okay. So let's go to example number 7. Using postulates and counterexamples. Decide whether the statement is true or false. If it is false, give a counterexample. A line can be in more than one plane. So is this true or false? So, lagay tayo ng isang diagram. So, in the diagram at the right, line K is in plane S and line K is in plane T. So, it is true that a line can be in more than one plane. So, actually, there is infinitely many planes that intersect in a common line. So, think of it na para kayo nagro-rotate ng paper. Guhitan nyo yung paper nyo. Think of it this way. Halimbawa, ito yung papel nyo. Yan. Tapos ito yung line dun sa papel nyo. So, this is one plane, right? If you are going to move, i-rotate nyo to, pwede kayong makabuo ng isa pa ulit na plane. Nagpalit na kasi siya ng position. That is also containing that same line. Tapos, rotate nyo pa siya ulit ng isa pa. Ayan. Magkakaroon kayo ulit ng isa pang plane that contains this line. Okay? So, there is infinitely many planes containing the same line. Pangit ng drawing ko eh. Isa pa. Yan. Bawa ito yung unang plane. Yan. Ito yung pangalawang plane. Ay. Yan. Ito yung pangalawang plane. Sana mas magaling kayo mag-drawing kesa sa akin. Ito yung pangalawang plane. Then, drawing pa ulit tayo ng isa pang plane. Halimbawa, ito naman siya. Yan. Diba? Ang daming plane na nag-exist containing that same line. Okay. Hindi yan yung na-visualize ko sa isip ko, pero feeling ko naman nagigets nyo ako. Hopefully. Okay. Next, we have letter B. 4 non-collinear points are always coplanar. So, is this true or false? So, it is false. Why? This is plane containing A, B, and C. If you draw another point outside of this plane, makakabuo na siya ng isa pa ulit na plane that is not on your original plane. So, copy natin siya dito. Drawingan natin siya ng plane na hindi the same dun sa plane containing A, B, and C. Ayan. So, ito yung plane containing A, B, and C. For example, ito si plane P. Yan. Ngayon, meron tayong D outside of plane P. Gawa tayo ng, pili tayo ng 3 distinct points. So, si D, si B, at saka si C. So, from here, we can draw another plane containing the 3 of them without A. So, may nag-exist pa ulit na isang plane containing this 3 na hindi kasali si A. So, ito yung plane and let's call this plane Q. Yan. Ibang plane na siya. So, if you have four non-distinct points, it is possible that the third point or the fourth point is not contained on the plane that contains the first 3 points. It is not always the case. Pwede rin naman na minsan nandyan din siya. Halimbawa, ito si point E. Yan. But it is not always the case. Sometimes nasa labas siya. And pag nasa labas siya ng plane, you can form another plane containing any three distinct points, including the one that is located outside. Okay. Now, let's continue. Nasaan na tayo? Biconditional na pala. Ay, nag-move siya. Ayan. C. Two non-intersecting lines can be non-coplanar. So, two non-intersecting lines can be non-coplanar. So, halimbawa, meron kang dalawang lines that are not intersecting. For example, parallel lines. O kaya skewed lines. Ayan. So, two lines are skewed if they are not on the same plane. Pero kapag ka parallel lines, nasa same plane lang din sila. So, in the diagram in the right, line M and line N are non-intersecting. And also, they are non-coplanar. So, they are skewed. May term tayo na ginagamit dito, skewed lines. So, skewed lines are two lines that are non-parallel, but they will never meet no matter what you do kasi they are contained in two different planes. So, it is true that two non-intersecting lines can be non-coplanar. Okay. Ayan. So, tapos na pala tayo dito. Magmo-move na tayo dun sa susunod. Sige. Since may time pa tayo, tuloy ko siya since wala pa yung iniintay ko. Okay. Definitions and biconditional statements. So, two lines are perpendicular lines. Teka lang pala, recognizing and using definitions. So, again, pagka definitions, hindi natin sila kailangang i-prove. They are considered and accepted to be true. Pag theorem, pinoprove pa natin yan. Two lines are called perpendicular lines if they intersect to form a right angle. A line perpendicular to a plane is a line that intersects the plane in a point and is perpendicular to every line in the plane that intersects it. So, the symbol, itong inverted na T, this is read as is perpendicular to. So, please take note of the symbols na ginagamit natin. So, tingnan natin yun dito. So, we have lines N and M. So, line N is perpendicular to line M. Dito naman, it is perpendicular to line P. So, paano nyo ito i-imagine? Kuha kayo ng stick, tapos itusok nyo sa table nyo. Make sure that your line will form a 90-degree angle with your table kahit saang direction or kahit saang part nyo siya kunan ng measurement. So, for example, dito nyo siya kinunan. Magkakaroon siya ng 90. Ayan. So, cut muna natin siya dito. Tapos, tuloy ko siya mamaya.